This is the final version of my previous videos in the Baxter the Politician series. I have edited it so that the end cards aren't there, and so that the title cards from every video will not be shown. If a card is shown for 5 seconds it's a new video. 2 seconds, that's a new segment of the current video. Thanks for watching. Baxter was a famous politician. He ran for the Lakewood Pride Committee, the LPC, and would make it very popular. But today I am asking the question, what is Baxter's politics? For me to be able to understand them, I will be using what he said in his speeches, what his advisors said about him, and the general LPC was about. The LPC was founded after a school humiliation against their rival Mighty Mountain. The three founders, Arthur T. Reed, Francine A. Frensky, and Muffy A. Crosswire, they would attempt to get members, but nobody was signing up. They would then recruit Mr. Baxter. Baxter, we know, is fond of the school, and would make a speech, which in modern day would be spectacular. The speech would go to the tune of, "This land is your land." LPC member and founder Mr. Reed would create a new salute. New salutes, or different things like it, are done to make differences between the inside group of people and the outside group of people. The familiarity between LPC member to member would allow people to socialize and therefore create more school unity. The LPC demands full loyalty from all school members. To ensure this unwavering loyalty to Baxter, they would establish a salute, hand out buttons and watches, and anyone who didn't join would be seen as an outcast. This would establish a group of people who were completely and utterly loyal to Mr. Baxter, but the cult of personality would collapse. With all of that established, we now know what the LPC and Mr. Baxter wanted to do, that by establishing school pride, unity, and loyalty. In this episode, we will be looking into Baxter's campaign and nomination. We will go into a deep dive to review exactly what he said to better understand how the LPC became the strongest movement in Elwood City. One of Lakewood's best athletes would line up in a race against the rival, Mighty Mountain. When the race started, Francine Frensky would take the lead, but with a bad uniform falling apart, she would lose the race, and it would end up in a Mighty Mountain victory. In anger, Frensky would ask the principal for new uniforms, and he would agree. In hope of getting more stuff-based, Arthur Reed, Muffy Crosswire, and Francine Frensky would start the LPC, the Lakewood Pride Committee. In hopes of getting people to be more proud of their school, they would hand out flyers. After a little bit, Baxter would be offered the position of president. After some skepticism, he would accept. I will now give you a full breakdown on what happened. I will now read the exact words said to Mr. Baxter when he was inaugurated. Buster: President, what do I have to do? Arthur: all you have to do is tell the kids why you love Lakewood Elementary. Francine: we need more members. Our school is great, but can be even better. Buster: that's true. It doesn't even have a water slide. Buster: why me? Muffy: because you're average. Buster: average. Muffy: in a good way. Arthur: everybody likes you. You'd be a great president. Buster: I would be a great president. Can I have my own plane? Muffy: no, but I can wear this hat. Buster: I'll do it. This marks the beginning of Baxter's political career, already marked with bribery. We can see that he is nothing more than a puppet for the founder of the LPC, but that wouldn't stop him from making a speech that would rally up the school. Mr. Baxter would start off his presidency strong. He would make an announcement declaring the LPC is now a real movement. We have unearthed the video from the speech. I will now play it for you.
I love Lakewood! I love Lakewood! I love Lakewood! I love Lakewood!
This school's a great school. This school's a cool school. From our gymnasium to the library footstools.
From our beautiful art room to the Lakewood parking lot. This school is great for you and me.
3 cheers for your school. 3 cheers for my school. From our gymnasium to the library footstools.
From From our beautiful art room to the Lakewood parking lot, this school is great for you and me.
Early on, we can see that Buster has the ability to rally a group of people behind him, a more populist sounding point. We would also be able to not only defect comments made about him, but also make one opponent to the LPC to a future member. We will take about this later. I just showed you the beginning of the LPC. We can already see it taking a grab on the students, starting an unwavering cult of personality. But how long can the cult last? We can see that there are people who don't believe in the LPC and what it stands for. Buster Baxter was not known in his short term for being corrupt. He was seen as a unifier. Recently unearthed evidence from his meeting with the founders of the LPC paint a different story though. Buster Baxter will retire to his presidential house, or the local treehouse, where he would be briefed on a rematch race against Mighty Mountain. We can see here that Buster's personal security guard, Shelly Binky Barnes, is standing at the base of the tree. Binky was reported replying to a question posed by Baxter asking, "What does the LPC stand for?" Binky would reply, "The Loser Patrol Squad." In the presidential house, Muffy would go on and deny a phone call which was meant for Buster Baxter, essentially cutting off all info Baxter can get from the outside world while in the LPC's presence. Baxter would be handed a speech. After reading it, he determined it to be too harsh on the school's rival. LPC member Francine Frensky would quickly reply to ease Baxter's nerves and coax him into reading the speech. Baxter would hesitantly agree, putting the nationalist ideals of the school, pushing one of their ideals, unity, to the extreme. Buster Baxter would now be entering a new scene. Almost everybody loved him. With an iron fist on the elementary school, Baxter would fan the flames of militarism and nationalism. As he would leave the treehouse, something would happen that would forever change the course of the LPC. Buster Baxter would be attempted to be killed within the first 2 days of his presidency. This shot would ensure Baxter would no longer feel insecure in his position as president. We will now look at the people who attacked Buster, the plan, and how it happened. The two major members of the assassination plot were Sue Ellen Armstrong and Alan Brain Powers. From Baxter's famous speech, now called "This School's a Great School," they were already suspicious. They would not show up to the local rally. They would eventually plan an assassination attempt together. The plan was a very simple plan. Armstrong would call Buster in hope of drawing him out of the presidential house. From there, they would wait for the security personnel, Shelly Binky Barnes, to get too far away to protect Buster. Brain would then write a note and fold it into a paper airplane, hand it off to Armstrong, who would then throw it. This was considered the most well-planned assassination attempt in Elwood City ever since Jacob Katzenellenbogen tried to kill Teddy Roosevelt. That one is iffy, for Katzenellenbogen would start hitting a statue in his honor near the president. Armstrong would attempt to draw Buster out, but she would fail because Muffy Crosswire would deny the call. They would resort to waiting till Baxter leaves the treehouse. After he was given a speech, Baxter would leave the treehouse to ponder on if he should read it. With part 1 achieved, it's time for part 2. Almost immediately, the guard would walk just far enough to keep eyes on Baxter for the plane to be thrown. With a tight window, Armstrong would throw the plane and hit Baxter dead in the face. Barnes would deploy and defend his president, threatening his own life in case Armstrong wanted to throw more planes. Baxter would read the note, but not reveal its intent. There is an after effect I will not bring up. Baxter was reported to have nothing more than a paper cut. The LPC founders would also start to fear that their own lives were at risk, but proof that the LPC founders were deemed too useless to attack would be surfaced. How two people would attack one of the most powerful people in Elwood City is still unknown. The LPC would start feeling more and more insecure. But getting more bodyguards like Binky Barnes was hard, for he was the only one who was deemed fit enough to protect Baxter. This attack was said to be the main reason why the LPC fell apart. Buster Baxter was just recently attempted to be assassinated, handed a speech about nationalism, and he is now celebrated beyond belief. All of that should have accumulated into a final speech, a speech that would spark a new age, not just for the elementary school, but for the city and its political landscape. We narrowed down the 3 major reasons why Baxter resigned from his post as president of the LPC. Reason 1, the speech. Buster Baxter would be handed a speech he did not want to read. This is a deeper problem where the LPC founders are just using him as a puppet. Reason 2, exclusion. The LPC demands full loyalty, but recently Baxter would not be able to interact with 3 of his friends, which would lead into reason 3. The assassination would leave Baxter in a tough spot. The letter was a note from the assassins. Sue Ellen Armstrong and Alan Brain Powers would leave Buster a secret note. He would not read it. This would only strengthen his regret for joining the LPC. Baxter would walk up the bleachers. A small, loyal crowd stands at the bottom. The founders stand lower at the side. The assassins of the end of the bleachers. Muffy Crosswire hands the speech to Buster. He would then assume his position near the top of the bleachers. He would look at the note. He would go on to crumple it up. The founders in shock reason that he is going to speak from the heart. Truly put the audience in awe. He would reach into his hat and pull out a speech. He would read it.
No one has the right to tell us we're not proud of our school just because we don't join the right group. That was written by Sue Ellen and Brain, and I agree with them. You can be president. Those are my friends, whether they wear a button or not.
The founders would do their best to get the crowd excited. The small burst that they managed to cause only lasted till the end of the race. With the cult of personality fast deteriorating, the LPC didn't know what to do. Arthur Reed, the founder of the LPC, would say it best.
The LPC broke up after that. Francine, Muffy, and I decided we had plenty of team spirit without it.
From what I accumulated, I believe the LPC relied on the cult of popularity of Buster Baxter. The matter of them pushing Baxter beyond his morals was what caused their downfall. Baxter would be a sign of unity without being united. In all reality, we do not truly know why Baxter left the LPC, but we have many big clues.
Arthur is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers like you, the National Endowment for Children's Educational Television, and by the Arthur Vining Davis Foundation.